I'm normally not up this late, but I didn't feel like going to sleep. Usually, when I'm up this late, there are channels that are coming through to me or information that's coming through, that I want to expound upon. And there's something that I've been wanting to talk about, some shit that I've been observing that I want to talk about in regards to the reboot of the new Dynasty. Now, for those people who don't know, Dynasty was a nighttime soap opera drama that came on in the 1980s. The original one was motherfucking. It was everything. It was It was badass. Okay, the original Dynasty was badass. You had Blake Carrington, Joan Collins, and all that bullshit. I'm not talking about the synopsis of the show. I'm talking about the occult. I'm giving my occult view because that's who I am. I am Seer Grant, and this is what I do, the occult view. And this is my occult view on the reboot of Dynasty. And it really ties into what I was saying the other day in regards to distractions and the energy or the narrative that they're putting out or the mind control that is being perpetuated constantly against black people. Now, one thing I will give the original Dynasty, although it was in the era of the 80s, which was an era of just horrible corporate greed, and that is what the show's synopsis was all about, corporate greed. The Carringtons, they owned an oil company. The Colbys, excuse me, owned an oil company, and it was all about greed because that was the energy at that time in the 80s. And we're actually getting ready to go back up under that energy because in 2020, when you break down 2020, and I said this in another video, but let me repeat it. When you break down 2020, take the zeros out, 2 plus 2 is 4. So we're going to be back up under the energy of the year technically of 1984, if you want to put it that way. Because 1984 comes out to 4 when you break it down to the single digit. So we're going to be back up under that energy. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Okay, but the entire premise of that show, Dynasty, was about a powerful rich white family, and they added Diane Carroll to the mix. She became a Carrington. And one thing I will give them, although the show was mainly about rich white people, one thing I will give the original Dynasty, at least the butlers and maids and all of that shit, they were white people. They did not depict black people in stereotypical fashion. They depicted Diane Carroll, although her character, Dominique Devereaux, did not last as long as it should, in my opinion. She made the motherfucking show, but her light outshined the star of the show, Joan Collins. So they had to get her up off of there because Diane Carroll was a triple threat. She could sing, well, double threat. She could sing and she could act and she was beautiful. And she still is beautiful, even at the age of 80 something. So, again, they depicted black people in very glamorous, rich roles, or in very glamorous, rich, in a very glamorous, rich light. Now, this motherfucking shit that's on now, this reboot bullshit, that's what I really want to get into. They have regressed back to a time in this reboot where black people now they have black people as maids and butlers and all that other bullshit. Now, of course, they have white servants too, but we all know the significance of or the racial significance of seeing a black person as a maid or a butler, especially in 2019, because we know that those were stereotypical, racially disparaging positions that black people had to take in order to take care of their families. And a lot of black women, especially, were very much abused in those positions as maids and as not caretakers, but as maids and nannies and shit back in the day. You could look at the movie The Help, and that gives you an idea of what black women went through, and black men too, who were butlers and housemen or whatever the case may be. The brutality and abuse that they faced. So that is why it is, kind of, it ain't no kinda. That's why it's a fucking insult to depict black people in those positions, even in 2019. But again, that's a spell and that's mind control. Spell and mind control, I put them in the same category. Okay? That's mind control. Now, what I really wanted to talk about and point out was something very interesting that I've been observing about this new dynasty. And by the way, the show is fucking horrible. It is horrible. I watch it because it's so fucking horrible, but there's some subliminal messages and some symbolism in there that I'm really peeping. And it ties into what I was saying about the Luciferian energy being a feminine energy, a black female feminine energy. Okay? Let me be clear about that. Now, for those people who are old enough to remember, the original dynasty had Heather Locklear in it. Heather Locklear also played Amanda on Melrose Place. Heather Locklear played Sammy Joe on the original dynasty. She was Crystal Carrington's troublemaking slut of a niece, remember? In the reboot, in this new version of Dynasty, get this motherfucking shit. Sammy Joe, Sammy Joe, or Sam, as they call the person, is a gay Hispanic man. Let me say that again. They took a female character. They took a female character, okay, that was very popular. Sammy Joe was very popular. They took a female character and they morphed it into a gay man in this new reboot. Now, well, it's not a reboot, but this new um, version of Dynasty. So the character of Sammy Joe is a gay man now in this new version of Dynasty. And I find that to be very motherfucking interesting because, as I stated in the video I did about the Luciferian energy, there's a pattern of ritualizing non-black men in feminine energy. See, when they try to ritualize black men, when they do that to us, when they try to ritualize us in their version of feminine energy, okay, they oftentimes do it in a degrading way and in a way that is to push an agenda, and they depict us in a very degrading, disrespectful, dishonorable way. Now, this guy who's playing Sammy Joe, who's playing Sam, the character that was originally played by Heather Locklear, Sammy Joe, they don't have him putting on a dress, and they have him married to Stephen Carrington. In the original series of Dynasty, Stephen Carrington was gay. So instead of them having a female troublemaker, they put in a gay man, a gay Hispanic man. So he's married to Stephen Carrington in this new version of Dynasty. And he's rich. And he has black butlers on their knees giving him pedicures. You see the motherfucking agenda? You see what I'm talking about? You see where I'm going with this, right? So when I look at that from an occult standpoint, it's no wonder a lot of these niggas nowadays are so motherfucking whitewashed and watered down in everything that they fucking do and everything that they fucking say, including their motherfucking spirituality. It's no wonder. And it's like the real black men, the real motherfucking soldiers, like a Darren Seals or a Christopher Barry, the real motherfucking soldiers, they kill them off. They kill them off. And we get these watered down, Negroes who want to sing kumbaya. But all of this shit is nothing but spells and mind control. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this motherfucking shit right here. This is what I really wanted to say. I said all that to say this, to get to my main point. Could it be, and I really don't give a fuck, but I'm just making a point. Could it be the reason that Heather Locklear is having this breakdown that she's having? Partially, could it be? I'm sure it's a multitude of things. Probably, it's a multitude of things. She has a multitude of spiritual problems. She has a multitude of spiritual problems, and that's all I'm going to say on that. But could it be that they are using her energy, pulling her motherfucking energy, and putting it on this young man who is now playing a role that she originated? Because you notice she hasn't been in anything since that show with Tyler Perry. There was a show that was similar to The Have and the Have Nots about a bunch of rich political people, and she played in it. It went off the air a couple of years ago, not that long ago. It came on, if I'm not mistaken, it came on OWN, and it went off the air right around the time this new dynasty premiered. It went off the air right around that time. I don't even know if Heather Locklear was on there for a long duration of time or not. I don't know. But what I do know is that the new dynasty premiered around the time that that show went off the air. So could it be because she started spiraling out of control probably in the past few years? So could it be, I'm looking at this from an occult standpoint, could it be that they're pulling her motherfucking energy and applying it to that young man who's playing her motherfucking role? I'm just saying. I'm just making an observation. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just saying, telling you what I see. Because I find it very interesting that they have turned a female role and made it into a gay Hispanic man. I find that very interesting. And that is nothing but agenda laced. Let me say that again. That's nothing but agenda laced to ritualize these non-black men in feminine energy. But the way that they ritualize non-black men in feminine energy is totally different than how they ritualize and apply that energy to black men. See, they apply that energy to us totally differently. They apply it to us in a very degrading, disrespectful manner. But when they ritualize white boys and other non-black boys with that energy, they do it. They do it so mainly black men can probably look at them in a sexual light, especially black men who normally don't go for homosexuality. I'm gay and I can see what the fuck they're doing. And if that's not part of their energy, if that's not part of who they are, then that's some fucked up ass shit in my fucking opinion. So this, when I used to make videos a long time ago, I used to talk about black men and their would appear to be their sick obsession with gay white men and how they would attack black men for being gay, but you find out behind the scenes they were fucking with Hispanic men and white men. And these were not no feminine black men. These were black men who lived a straight lifestyle. So I'm thinking now, I used to be very angry about that, but I'm not angry about it anymore because I'm thinking at it. I said I'm thinking at it. I'm thinking about it from an occult view because that's what I do. I'm the occult view. So I'm thinking of it from an occult view. So they're up under mind control and spells, and that is what is influencing them the way that it does. That is why some black men have this aggression and hatred towards gay black men, but then they turn to non-black men and white men for homosexual sex. And a lot of times it's not any money involved. A lot of times it has nothing to do with prostitution. So now that I look at it in retrospect, when they are ritualizing these white boys and these non-white boys who are not black in this energy, in this feminine energy, they're trying to uplift them in a sense. Okay, they're trying to uplift them. And when black men look at them, they don't look at them as being men, they look at them as being women, and they will treat them as such because that's the energy that they're applying to them. And remember, when they apply that energy, or when they ritualize those white boys in that energy, or those Hispanic boys, or those non-black boys in that feminine energy, when they ritualize them in that energy, it's not the same. It's different. They ritualize us in that energy again in a very. They use it and they depict us in a very tragic, in a very degrading way. But with white boys and non-black boys, they depict them as the upper echelon, or the up on the higher hierarchy of shit. Because the character of Sam in the new dynasty, who's a gay man, he's rich, everybody loves him, everyone accepts him, you know. But when they depict gay black men in different movies and shit like that, they depict us in the most horrible ways, as buffoons, as coons, as clowns. I don't mean clowns literally, but doing clownish things. Or they depict us doing very, very diabolical things. Or they depict us in very degrading, just buffoonish type of ways. So I've been peeping that and I've been observing that in that new dynasty. So they took Heather Locklear's energy and they applied it to this boy because that was the role that she originally played in the original dynasty. So that's probably why she's been spiraling out of control, because they're sucking her fucking energy. They're stealing her energy and they're putting it on that boy. And they do that oftentimes with feminine energy when it comes to, gay white men or gay non-black men. They ritualize them in that energy because they want people to look at them as women. They want people to treat them as women because the white man has always been jealous of the black woman's feminine energy, or of any woman's feminine energy for that matter. In the profession that I am in, what I know for a fact is that white men hate women, and they especially hate white women. And I know this for a fact because of the profession that I'm in. Okay, and that's all I'm going to say on that. And a lot of them, they want that feminine energy so badly. They want it so badly. And you can take it a step motherfucking further. The white version of Jesus Christ that everyone is so synonymous with is a man named Caesar Borgia. And he was a homosexual. He was, what's his name? What's his name? Michelangelo's, if I'm not mistaken, Michelangelo's lover, if I'm not mistaken. So that makes sense. Now that I look back over the years that I had spent angry with black men because I felt as if they were choosing white gay men, but then rejecting black gay men and treating us less than. But now when I look at it from an occult standpoint, I see why. I see why. And that also ties into why black women, I was looking at something and somebody was saying something about black women. I'm trying to remember because I want to get it right. Give me a minute. They were saying that black women act a certain way nowadays, and black women. I remember now. Okay, this would also explain why black women and their energy may not be where it should be, because a lot of black women are under mind control with the religion, and they've given up their feminine energy to what they believe is Jesus Christ, but they're actually giving it to that fake entity called Caesar Borgia. So it's an institution, it's an institution or institutionalized effort to deplete the feminine energy in the black woman and probably in women in general, but I'm going to say with the black woman. Or to take that feminine energy to tell black women, oh no, you should be, you don't have any feminine energy, you don't have any power, you don't have any magical powers. Oh no, 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 no. So it's no wonder that black women are considered out of order now. And it's not that they're bad or evil, it's just that their energy has been sucked. They have been lied to by the institution called Christianity, which has stolen their energy. They've taken their energy and they've told them, well, you need to give your energy to this white deity. It doesn't matter if Jesus Christ didn't exist. I know that. But it doesn't matter. And if anybody write me about that motherfucking shit, I'm gonna cuss your motherfucking ass out. Okay? You can believe whatever the fuck you want. I know what the fuck I know. It doesn't matter what color you think you know Jesus Christ was. The mind control and the spell that has been put on multiple black people, including black men and women, okay? I just had to say that, is that that person is a blonde haired, blue eyed white man. That is why Dylan Roof was able to go into that church without them questioning him and kill all those innocent black people. But that was nothing but a ritual sacrifice. Everybody knows that. That was set up by the government and the CIA. Everybody knows that. I'll take it a step further. Well, no, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. I don't want to talk about that. So this is an institutionalized effort to ritualize white boys in feminine energy. Caitlyn Jenner and that whole debacle, that was part of it as well. And you saw a lot of black men coming out supporting Caitlyn Jenner. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. When RuPaul first got his start back in the day, black men clowned RuPaul. A lot of these black rappers and all them other niggas that sit up on Andy Cohen's bitch ass show, Watch What Happens Live. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's the gay Jewish guy who does the Housewives of it. Of all, he's the creator of the Housewives franchise on Bravo. Now you see all these motherfucking rappers who were so homophobic back in the day. Have they ever come out and apologized to RuPaul and all of the gay black people that they have degraded and harmed with their words? Of course not. But they sitting up on gay, messy Andy Cohen show, acting like he's something good to eat. I'm gonna tell you something. I remember when Lenny Kravitz was on there. Lenny Kravitz is my motherfucking man. That's my motherfucking dog. I fucks with Lenny Kravitz, honey. That's my motherfucking dog. I fucks with him because when he went on Andy Cohen's show, he was cool as a motherfucker. He's a Gemini, and that's how Geminis are. He did not kiss Andy Cohen's ass. He was more into Gayle King was on that episode with him. He was more so into Gayle King. He wasn't thinking about no Andy Cohen. He was more so into Gayle King. He played it real cool, and I liked him for that because he didn't go in there kissing Andy Cohen's ass like a lot of these other black, so-called heterosexual men have done. But I'm just looking at this institution and how it likes to ritualize and put that feminine energy on them white boys so they can be treated as and looked upon as woman. See, people are always talking about the gay agenda, and I'm gay. Okay, I'm gay. I like dick like any other gay guy. It is what the fuck it is. Okay? I don't give a fuck who don't like it. I don't give a fuck who don't accept it. Fuck you and your fucking beliefs and your opinions. I don't give a fuck about that shit. But the thing is that I lost my train of thought. It's late. What was I getting ready to say? Getting ready to make a point. Oh, that's what I was getting ready to say. People are always talking about the gay agenda. And it just seems to be that, they always want to fuck, they're always trying to put gay black men in the gay agenda. And they're always trying to marginalize or to, vilify gay black men. But ain't none of you motherfucking bitches or niggas. None of you all are looking at these gay white boys that they're ritualizing with your energy, black woman, with your fucking energy. Yeah, they do it to black men too, but the way they do it with white men is white men want that feminine energy and they want to be looked upon as a woman. Okay? They want to be looked upon as a woman. They want to be revered like the black woman was once revered. That's the kind of energy that they are applying and using to ritualize these white boys in that energy. With gay black men or black men, the type of energy that they try to ritualize us in, it's more degrading. Just compare the two. So when you think about the gay agenda, you really have to start really looking at how the energy is applied and how it's being manifested. Because a lot of these gay white boys, they're manifesting off of your energy, black men and black women. They're manifesting off of your fucking energy. And that's just that. But that new dynasty is absolutely awful. That new version of dynasty, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. And I've been wanting to talk about that for a minute. And that's all I really have to say. You know, peace, and I am out. This is Sia Grant, aka The Occult View.